The Royal Military Police is the corps of the British Army responsible for the policing of service personnel, and for providing a military police presence both in the UK and while service personnel are deployed overseas on operations and exercises. Members of the RMP are often known as Redcaps because of the scarlet covers on the peaked caps or scarlet-coloured berets. The RMP origins can be traced back to the 13th century, but it was not until 1877 that a regular corps of military police was formed, with the creation of the Military Mounted Police. This was followed by the Military Foot Police in 1885. The Military Mounted Police first engaged in combat in 1882 at the Battle of Tel El-Kebir. Although technically two independent corps, the two effectively functioned as a single organization. In 1926, they were fully amalgamated to form the Corps of Military Police. In recognition of the service in the Second World War, they became the Corps of Royal Military Police on 28 November 1946. On 6 April 1992 the RMP amalgamated into the Adjutant General's Corps, under whose overall command they formed part of the AGC's Provost branch. Non-commissioned members of the RMP receive the basic training as soldiers at the Army Training Centre in Pirbright. They then receive further training at the Defence School of Policing and Guarding, previously known as Defence College of Policing and Guarding. RMP commissioned officers are trained at the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, as are all other British Army officers. The Regimental March of the RMP is the Watchtower, or Hochheidexberg, originally a German army marching tune from 1912 by Rudolf Herzer. The RMP motto is Exemplo Ducemus, Latin for, by example, shall we lead history. The Provost Marshal is a post which goes back to the 13th century and was originally an under-officer of the Earl Marshal. In 1685 the role of Provost Marshal General became a permanent post. The Military Mounted Police was formed in 1877 and the Military Foot Police was formed in 1885. During the First World War the military police grew from 508 all ranks to over 25,000 all ranks by the end of the war. During the Battle of Neuve-Chapelle in March 1915 the military police served the army as a whole rather than just individual units. On the 27th of February 1926 the Corps of Military Police was formed by merging the Military Mounted Police and the Military Foot Police. During the Second World War the military police grew from 4,121 all ranks to over 50,000 all ranks within 6 major branches of specialists. Special Investigation Branch, the SIB, was first formed in 1940, with 19 detectives from the Metropolitan Police transferred to the Army for deployment in France. For this small beginning the branch expanded into numerous sections which were deployed both in the UK and overseas, providing the Corps with its own criminal investigation department to conduct more detailed and protracted investigations into organized crime and serious offenses such as murder. Provost Wing, responsible for general policing. Provost companies were included in the order of battle of home commands, armored infantry and airborne divisions, as well as at army and corps level and with independent brigades. From 1942, Port's provost companies were raised, consisting of a mix of provost and vulnerable points sections, which were deployed on security and policing duties within ports and docks. Vulnerable Points Wing, formed in 1941 to provide security of static locations and establishments. They were known as blue caps, from the Oxford blue cloth covers worn on the service dress caps. Originally intended to act as static companies and detachments, VP COIs were later deployed in Northwest Europe. guarding prisoner of war camps and other static installations. The VP wing was quickly phased out at the end of the war, but reappeared briefly in the Supplementary Reserve, Army Emergency Reserve between 1950 and 1961. Traffic Control Wing, formed in 1941. TC-COIs were deployed throughout the United Kingdom, releasing provost companies from the tasks of traffic control. TC-COIs were later deployed in the Middle East, Italy and Northwest Europe. The wing was phased out of the Corps by 1946. Personnel did not wear cap covers when on duty, unless they had undergone a basic course in police duties, in which case they were authorized to wear red top covers as per the Provost Wing. Field Security Wing, first formed in 1937. Personnel of the FSW wore Lincoln green cap covers and brass shoulder titles on the tunics with the letters FSP to distinguish them from the rest of the Corps. They wore the standard CMP cap badge, but unofficially ground down the wording Military Police from the lower scroll of the badge. In July 1940 the wing was absorbed into the new Intelligence Corps. In November 1946 King George VI granted the royal prefix to the Corps of Military Police in recognition of its outstanding record in 2 world wars, and the Corps became known as the Corps of Royal Military Police, though abbreviated to Royal Military Police. From 1969 the Corps made an important contribution during the Troubles in Northern Ireland. On 6 April 1992 the Rmp amalgamated into the Adjutant General's Corps, under whose overall command they form part of the AGC's Provost branch alongside the also pre-existent Military Provost Staff Corps and the later formed Military Provost Guard Service. Although they lost status as an independent corps, they were permitted to retain the Royal Military Police title and cap badge role, as well as policing service personnel whilst at home in the UK. The Royal Military Police are required to provide a capable military police presence in support of military operations overseas, in the United Kingdom and British overseas garrisons. Broadly speaking, within the United Kingdom and its overseas garrisons, the Royal Military Police are responsible for policing service personnel. In garrison towns, the Rmp often assists the local territorial police force in town centres at venues where service personnel are likely to frequent. Some Royal Military Police NCOs are allocated roles working on service family accommodation estates, such as community liaison officers and crime reduction officers. Part of this role involves visiting schools in the SFA catchment area, where the school's children come from service families. In the UK, this work is often done in conjunction with the Ministry of Defence Police. Some of the specific roles the Rmp fulfill include law enforcement and crime prevention within the service community, assistance to civilian police forces in garrison towns. When deployed on operations, the Royal Military Police are required to provide tactical military police support to the British Army in military operations. When deployed, some of the roles the Rmp fulfill include war crime investigations, handling and collating criminal evidence, reconnaissance patrols, detainee handling, search operations, general policing duties within operational bases, foreign police and military training. Provide close protection operatives for senior military and diplomatic personnel on operations. Jurisdiction. In the United Kingdom, Royal Military Police personnel are not constables under UK law and do not have any specific police powers over the general public, only whilst dealing with service personnel. However, the Rmp can utilise the powers available to all persons in England and Wales, under Section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, which allows any person to arrest any individual they have reasonable grounds to believe is committing, or has committed, an indictable offense, and that a constable is not available to perform the arrest. They are allowed to use such force as is reasonable in the circumstance to achieve this. The RMP are subject to inspection by HM Inspectorate of Constabulary, in the same way as UK civilian police forces. RMP personnel sometimes have powers, conferred by military lands BLOs, to give lawful directions to civilians who are on Ministry of Defence land affected by such BLOs. This may include the power to regulate vehicular and pedestrian traffic, close or restrict access, or to direct civilians to leave military land to which the BLOs apply. The particulars of these powers are highly changeable and are determined by each individual statutory instrument. A member of the Royal Military Police can arrest any individual in the UK whom he has reasonable grounds to believe to be a serving member of HM Armed Forces and he has committed a relevant civil or military law offence. RMP personnel do not have to be on Ministry of Defence land to exercise their authority over service personnel. The RMP also have police powers over personnel of the other two branches of the Armed Forces, the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force. The Royal Navy Police and RAF Police also have reciprocal police powers over British Army personnel. Postings overseas where service personnel are deployed overseas. The Royal Military Police are often called upon to provide a complete policing service. In these situations, members of the Royal Military Police can often exercise police powers in respect of civilians subject to service discipline. This includes, not exclusively, service dependents and overseas contractors sponsored by the British Army. In Germany, under the Status of Forces Agreement, the RMP has jurisdiction and primacy over British service personnel, the families, mod contractors, and NAFI staff. The German civil police only normally become involved where the interests of a German national are concerned. Equipment. Royal Military Police personnel undertaking general police duties are equipped with extendable batons, high-speed cuffs and airwave personal radios. The RMP also uses the Home Office Large Major Inquiry System, known as HOMES. Training. RMP commissioned officers attend the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, as do all other British Army officers. Other ranks recruits undertake the Phase 1 Common Military Syllabus training at the Army Training Regiment in Winchester. They then move on to Phase 2, which is undertaken at the Defence College of Policing and Guarding. The training syllabus includes service police codes of practice, military legislation which shadows Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, Armed Forces Act 2006, Serious Organized Crime and Police Act 2005, Geneva Conventions, Hague Rules, Unarmed Defensive Techniques, Organization. The regimental headquarters of the RMP moved to Mod Southwick Park, near Portsmouth in February 2007. It is co-located with the Tri-Service Defence College of Policing and Guarding. The RMP Training Centre moved there on the 27th of September 2005 from the RMP's long-standing RHQ at Roussillon Barracks in Chichester, West Sussex. The Service Police Crime Bureau is also located at Mod Southwick Park and is staffed by personnel from the Royal Military Police, Royal Air Force Police and Royal Navy Police. The RMP Museum has also moved to Mod Southwick Park. Colonels Commandant. Colonels Commandant include General Sir Miles Dempsey, Field Marshal Sir James Castles, Field Marshal Sir Geoffrey Baker, General Sir Cecil Blacker, General Sir Peter Leng, General Sir James Glover, Field Marshal Lord Inger, Lieutenant General Sir Christopher Wallace, General Sir Richard Dannett, Lieutenant General Sir William Rollo, Lieutenant General Gerald Berregan, Lieutenant General Sonic Carter. Current RMP units. Current RMP units include Great Britain 1st Military Police Brigade, 1 Regiment RMP, 150 Provost Company, 110 Provost Company, 243 Provost Company, 3 Regiment RMP, 116 Provost Company, 158 Provost Company, 174 Provost Company, Detachment Bellevue, Manchester, 4 Regiment RMP, 156 Provost Company, 160 Provost Company, 253 Provost Company, Special Investigation Branch RMP, 1 Investigation Company, 2 Investigation Company, 3 Investigation Company, 4 Investigation Company, Northern Ireland Detachment, 174 Procoy, 3 RMP Weapons Intelligence Section Legal Process Office 38 Sect 1 COISIB Rect RMP. Each individual regular RMP company will have smaller police stations and police posts at other locations in their area where there is a sizable Army presence. Special Investigation Branch RMP HQ SIB Specialist Support Unit 70 Section SIB 72 Section SIB 72 Section SIB 74 Section SIB 76 Section SIB 87 Section SIB. Other units: Belize Police Unit, Brunei Police Unit, British Army Training Unit, Suffield, Canada, Cyprus Joint Police Unit, 1 Platoon CJPU, 2 Platoon CJPU SIB Cyprus ESBA Section SIB, British Contingent Force Military Police Unit, United Nations Peacekeeping Force in Cyprus, operational deployment, not part of British Forces Cyprus, Joint Service Police Security Unit, Falkland Islands, Joint Provost and Security Unit, Gibraltar, Joint Service Police Unit, Diego Garcia, British Indian Ocean Territory, Shape AFNORTHRMP, Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe, Belgium and Allied Forces North in the Netherlands. The RMP are also currently deployed around the world in Kosovo, Bosnia, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Operation Telic Casualties. British operations in Iraq, including the 2003 invasion, were carried out under the name Operation Telic, which claimed the lives of several members of the RMP. The 24th of June 2003, Major Al-Kabir, Iraq, Sergeant Simon Hamilton, Dual Corporal Russell Aston, Corporal Paul Long, Corporal Simon Miller, Lance Corporal Benjamin Hyde, Lance Corporal Thomas Keyes. All personnel shown above were from 156 Provost Company RMP. This incident represented the largest loss of life on a single day in RMP history. The 23rd of August 2003, Basra, Iraq, Major Matthew Titchener, 150 Provost Company Sergeant Major Colin Wall, 150 Provost Company, Corporal Dewi Pritchard, 116 Provost Company. The 31st of October 2004, Basra, Iraq, Staff Sergeant Denise Rose, SIB. The 15th of October 2005, Waterloo Lines, Basra, Iraq, Captain Ken Masters, Officer Commanding 61 Section SIB. The 8th of July 2007, Basra, Iraq, Corporal Christopher Reed, 158 Provost Company, 3rd Regiment RMP. Operation Herrick Casualties. The 30th of May 2007, Kayaki, Helmand Province, Corporal Mike Gilliard, Royal Military Police. The 7th of May 2009, Jerisk, Helmand Province, Sergeant Benjamin Ross, 173 Procoy, Royal Military Police. The 22nd of October 2009, Jerisk, Helmand Province, Corporal James Oakland, 156 6th Provost Company Rmp. 3 November 2009, Nadi Ali, Helmand Province Corporal Stephen Boot, 116 Provost Company, Royal Military Police, Corporal Nicholas Webster Smith, 160 Provost Company, Royal Military Police, 18th November 2009, Nadi Ali, Helmand Province Sergeant Robert David Lauren Dixon, 160 Provost Company, 4th Regiment Royal Military Police, 20th December 2009, Sangan, Helmand Province LCPL Michael David Pritchard, 160 Provost Company, 4th Regiment Royal Military Police. The Rmp in popular culture. Redcap, an ABC television drama series which aired from 1964 to 1966, starred John Thaw as SIB investigator Sergeant John Mann. Redcap, another television drama series, which aired in 2003 and 2004, starred Tamsin Outhwaite as Sergeant Joe McDonough, also an SIB investigator. Soldier, a television drama series about an infantry company which aired from 1991 to 1997, featured Holly Ard as Corporal Nancy Thorpe Rmp. The Investigator starred Helen Baxendale as an Rmp staff sergeant. It is about life in the British forces at a time when being homosexual was banned and had serious repercussions. It is based on a true story. The Real Redcaps was a television documentary series about the Royal Military Police which aired from 2003 to 2005. It shows the Rmp in the Second Gulf War, their training in Colchester, close protection training, SIB work in Iraq, and other duties such as policing troops in Germany. It also shows the Military Provost Staff Corps Military Provost Guard Service manning MCTC Colchester. 7 Seconds is a 2005 Hollywood feature film starring Wesley Snipes that follows the actions of female Royal Military Police Sergeant Kelly Anders, when an experienced thief accidentally makes off with a valuable Van Gogh painting. His partner is kidnapped by gangsters in pursuit of the painting, forcing the thief to hatch a rescue plan, in which he joins forces with Rmp Sergeant Anders along the way. In the 2014 film Edge of Tomorrow, acting as guards around the Army's command post in London, military personnel wearing the MP armband and scarlet berets are shown throughout the film. In one of the chase scenes, Rmp troops pursued Major William Cage, where a Rmp soldier in a mechanical suit stops Major William Cage by destroying the front of his getaway car, leading to his capture.